and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Glen Chun, the host of Glen Chun YouTube channel, which is named after me, Glen Chun. This is Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and the reason I'm bringing you this footage is because I didn't do as badly as I normally do in this game. The lag compensation let me have a couple of kills, and I've also been criticised for not bringing enough Black Ops 2 footage, which is a weird criticism to have of me. But anyway, since I got criticised for not bringing enough Black Ops 2 footage, I decided to go and get something which wasn't completely shocking and, you know, lag compensated, whatever. And this is what happened, and yeah, so this may as well do, because it's got some length to it as well. Because what I want to talk about is Prometheus. Now, the thing with movies and talking about movies is I don't really like to talk about movies that have only just come out. The reason for that is actually quite simple. I don't want to ruin films for people. You see, the thing is, if you're going to go and pay for a film in a cinema, then I don't want to be the guy to come at you and tell you, oh, this movie is shit. You know, because then you'll be like, eh. And then you might enjoy it, but, you know, if you're going to buy a movie on DVD, then the chances are, after a year after it's come out, you've probably already bought it on DVD. And that's what I'm doing. I'm talking about Prometheus. It's been a year or so. So everybody who wanted to see the film has probably seen it. And which means I'm allowed to talk, or at least in my mind, it means I'm allowed to talk more in depth about the film and discuss what I wanted to discuss about it. You see, when you're actually talking about a new film, I always feel like I can't really do that to an extent because I'll probably spoil things for people, and I don't really want to do that. I don't want to be the guy that spoils a film for you. That said, I'll probably start talking about some newer films after this point anyway. So, Prometheus. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about the criticism Prometheus received, because I always felt it was unwarranted. Personally, I felt it was unwarranted. Prometheus by itself is a good film. And the thing is, it's a prequel, which is always dangerous. Whenever you make a prequel, people always expect... I don't know, I have this feeling that people always expect a prequel to be just the same. Oh, here comes a naive moment. Oh, so you can't actually knife that with those things. I was like, oh, maybe if it's a primary thing, then I don't know. Don't know what I was doing trying to knife that. But anyway, the thing with prequels is that it is quite dangerous to make a prequel because of the fact that, well, people always expect it to be pretty much exactly the same as the film that came before it, or the film that it's a prequel for, like Alien. People wanted Prometheus to be Alien. And it wasn't. It took the franchise down a whole new sort of road. It's saying that the creation of the xenomorphs was actually down to our creators trying to destroy us, or at least that's what it, you know, that's what it implies. The thing with Prometheus as well is that a lot of people criticised it for leaving too many questions, which I guess I kind of like that because it gives me a reason to watch the next film. Because if I know everything about a film right there, right as I watch that film, then a sequel is never going to have the same sense of intrigue. A sequel is just going to be, it's just going to be another film. It's not going to be something that I've considered of any value to the storyline at all. It's just going to elongate a story which had been tied up in a neat little bow, and it's just going to add stuff to it which isn't necessary. It's like having a cake. It's got lots of icing, and it's got some candles on it, and you know, it's got some writing happy birthday. You know, that's really all you need. After that, you're just adding stuff to it, and it's not always going to be necessary. It's like, okay, let's add some strawberries around the side of it. Yeah, it's okay. I'd still want the strawberries, but it's not really necessary. And that's how a film is for me. You know, if the film doesn't have the cake, let's say that if the first film on a franchise leaves the cake unfinished, I'm more likely to go and see that sequel so that I can finish the cake rather than going to watch a sequel which is just adding strawberries to the cake. I don't know why, but I like making cake metaphors. Probably because I like cake. But I think I did that the other day with something about Black Ops 2. I think I talked about Call of Duty and cakes, but nevertheless, that's my point. Anyway, some of the questions that people have that I think we can answer. The first and most obvious one is the first thing in the movie. What the hell is the engineer doing? Well, for me, some people have said he's terraforming. I don't think that's quite it. I think that scene is showing him creating humanity. That's what I believe. I believe if you notice his DNA, it zooms right in, shows his DNA splitting, and then it shows the black turning to the red, and then the DNA reattaching itself. Now, why that needs to happen to create people, I don't know. But then how the hell are we supposed to know how we're created? Oh, it doesn't make sense that something got destroyed for us to be made. Well, yes, but in the same sense, forest fires often create new life. So, you know, go figure. I mean, how would you like to have us to have been created? I don't know, but that's what the engineer was doing. He was creating people. Other questions. I've heard a question asked: how did Yannick know it's a military facility? That's an interesting question, but I think you can also answer that because when you look at the scenes that he's watched, he's looked at the cams from. Can't remember the first one's name, but he's looked at the 5 failed cam, the 2 guys who get lost. Murray, I think it's. I'm sorry, I really can't remember the other person's name, but he saw 5 failed camera. He saw all those dead bodies that those 2 people were looking at. He saw 5 failed's deformed crab body destroying everything in the hangar. I think something flipped in his head. Shit, this probably isn't a good place. He does only speculate that it's military. He doesn't say, oh, this is a military installation. He says, this is an installation, possibly military. When you say possibly, it doesn't mean, oh yeah, this is definitely what this is. I think this might be it. So your answer is, no, he didn't know it was military. He just guessed it. Which I hope answers your question there. I've also heard question, why did David poison Holloway? Well, very, very good question. But if you think about it, David was sent there by Wayland. He was sent there by Wayland. And Wayland's whole goal there was to cheat death. He wanted to prolong his life. And David's mission was to find a way to prolong his life. So maybe David found this black goo. David doesn't know what it does. How is he supposed to know what this black goo that he's only just found in the middle of space does? So he takes some of it, he gives it to Dr. Holloway, and just to find out what happens, really. Giving Holloway that drink was just an experiment to see if it could help Wayland. Other questions I've heard, why do the engineers want to destroy Earth? Fuck knows. Who knows? Maybe, I think it was something that happened a while ago. Maybe they saw some kind of war and devastation, and maybe saw some kind of innovation, and they figured that we could be a threat to them. I don't know. I don't think we could have ever been a threat to them. But maybe they saw nuclear missiles and thought, shit, if that's what they're doing, then we need to crush this before it becomes too powerful. If you think about it, World War II. Let me talk about World War II. Hitler started as just doing little things. He started doing little things, manageable things, but then it grew. And that's the thing. If you let something do something little, it will grow. And I think the engineers decided not to do what our Prime Minister at the time, Neville Chamberlain, did, and they were just stamping out our threat before it became a threat. If you know what I mean. I hope that's... that's what I think was happening, and I think that's why they wanted to crush us. I have heard another question, but I can't quite think of what it is. But yeah, I mean, the movie I think has received a lot of bad criticism. Here's my thing, though. Here's what I would like to say. For anybody who hasn't seen this film, I haven't really talked a shitload about the plot, but hopefully it's still bits of it are a mystery. Only people who have watched the film will probably know what I'm talking about. But if you do want to go and watch the film, and let's say you're a young person, let's say you haven't seen Alien. If you haven't seen Alien, then you will probably really like this film. If you have seen Alien, then you'll probably be disappointed it's not Alien. Then again, it does have alien tendencies. And it does actually show the xenomorph at the very end, so... it is a good film. It is a creepy sci-fi alien film, and it does that very, very well. And I still believe that a lot of the criticism of Prometheus is unwarranted. And that's all for now. So thank you for watching, and see you later. Oh yeah, and please remember to like and subscribe.